Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Reporter's Notebook. For those of you who've maybe never seen a Reporter's Notebook before, it's a really fun segment we get to do here at WNCT. One of my personal favorites, where towards the end of our workdays, we get to bring in some coworkers in here to the digital studio and talk about what it's like to be a reporter behind the scenes and dive a little deeper into those stories that we get to cover for you guys each and every single day. So today I am joined by Ms. Kelci O'Donnell here in the digital studio. Hello.
Hello.
How are you doing today on this beautiful Wednesday?
It's going good. We've got our stories done for the day. We're good to go. It's a good Wednesday.
There you go. And it's the first official day of fall, which I'm super excited about. So this is the day, people, to go out and get your pumpkin spice lattes if you've been holding off on them.
I'm on that train.
Yep. See, I'm one of those people that, like, as soon as they start rolling them out, I'm all about it. Give me apple spice, give me pumpkin spice. Love it. All right, let's get right into your story for today. You covered a story about a mosquito-transmitted virus that's kind of working its way through Eastern North Carolina a little bit. So talk to us about what this virus is and how it can affect not only, animals, but humans as well.
Absolutely. Well, I do want to first start out and say that this is not an alarming virus for humans. It's mainly transmitted through horses, donkeys, emus, I forget which one, ostriches, the animal species, and it can be transmitted through mosquitoes. So that was the whole story here today. The North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services came out with this press release saying that, hey, we have identified this virus. It's called Eastern Equine Encephalitis, quite a mouthful, also known as triple E or EEE, and it has been transmitted across the East between mosquitoes, and a couple of horses have identified as having that virus as well. Now, we did talk about it can be transmitted to humans, but it's very uncommon. I spoke with, a North Carolina health veterinarian today from the state, and he was saying that it's something we want to bring awareness to for people rather than them maybe contracting this and then not knowing what's going on. It causes some neurological symptoms and things like that. And it does have the potential to be deadly within humans as well. We have had a couple of cases of deaths, but I believe the count has been 12 since 2002 in North Carolina, but it's definitely something to be aware of. It's certainly no coronavirus as we've been dealing with here, and it's not something that you need to wear a mask for, but obviously we're heading into the fall. You're going to be outside walking around trails. You could be at outdoor sporting events, and odds are you're probably going to be swatting away a couple of mosquitoes here in Eastern North Carolina because we have those water outlets around here. So it's just kind of something that we want to make you aware of. And, there are 3 things that the health department, North Carolina Department of Health, says you can do to kind of prevent getting that virus. It's your dress, your drainage, and I forget the third D, but keeping, oh my goodness, I'm drawing a complete blank. Have it on here somewhere. You can dress in loose clothing. You can drain any kind of water source that there is. Hold on, I got it on my paper here somewhere. Okay, it's dress in loose clothing, defend using repellents and drainage to kind of get rid of any standing water. So a lot of mouthful here today with the name of it all and the 3Ds, but there's all of this stuff listed on our website as well, and ways that you can, try and prevent getting bitten by some of these mosquitoes. Obviously, it's kind of a way of life here in Eastern North Carolina. Right. We all know that, but I did find out something that I thought was pretty interesting that a lot of people are not too familiar with when it comes to mosquito bites. It depends on where you are, but also if you're allergic to certain types of mosquitoes. So there's different species, and you may be more allergic to a certain kind versus, one or the other. So you could have a larger reaction. You could have bigger bumps on your arms, red bumps. You could be a little bit more itchy, but it all just kind of depends on which person or where you are, really across the country. Because it's funny, I feel like I came down here from Pennsylvania. I used to get the worst mosquito bites up in Pennsylvania, and I came down to North Carolina and really don't get too many. And I had a roommate, I had friends who were like, wow, I get them pretty bad out at sporting events. I'm like, well, I haven't gotten any. Why haven't I got? Maybe I was just clean, smelling good that day. They just didn't want to bite me or something. But I found out that it happens to do with how allergic you are to these certain mosquitoes as well. So definitely something to be aware of, this triple E virus, but it's not an alarming virus right now. It cannot be transmitted to pets, which is very cool. So dogs, cats don't have to stress about that. Just something to kind of be aware of. Maybe use some repellent if you're outdoors or going to be around any type of water at all.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much, Kelci. And like you said, guys, this is not to alarm anybody. This is just to make you aware that this is something that is going on. But, you know, it, like Kelci said, it is very, very uncommon in humans. It's just to be aware, keep yourself safe like you would normally do. Wear your bug spray, wear your loose fitted clothing that covers your skin completely if you're going to be out trekking through the woods or anything crazy like that. So just those typical safety procedures to keep yourself safe from this. So thank you so much, Kelci, for covering this. I think this is really fascinating and interesting because I had never even heard of this virus before, and to know that, you know, it's something so easily transmitted through mosquitoes and horses, which is a big industry here in our area. So thank you so much.
Well, not even, this is a side note before we close out, it's not even just this particular virus. It was more so, we're heading into the fall. There's a lot of bugs outside, there's a couple of other viruses in North Carolina, the West Nile and the lacrosse virus, that can be transmitted through humans. So it's also a time to say, hey, there's this one that can be transmitted between horses, potentially to humans, but there are 2 other ones. So using those 3Ds can definitely be really helpful for you this fall, not only in the fall, but in the summer and all those seasons that bugs are going to be out and about. And try not to swat them away. Hopefully just save yourself loose clothing, repellent. It'll do the rest.
There you go. Well, thank you so much, Kelci, for taking the time out of your workday to sit down and talk with us a little bit more about the details of this story. I think it's, again, really interesting. And if people want to learn more about this and more about, you know, the season, like you said, that we're kind of entering into with these mosquito-borne illnesses, where can people go to find that information?
WNCT.com, our favorite place, our home of all of the extra content. And we've got a cool full article on there. I have more from his interview written out. I typed it all out so that way you guys can read it. It's a lot easier for that. And then also there is a press release from the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services with some more facts and things that you can do to prevent being bitten by some of these pesky mosquitoes.
Awesome. Well, again, thank you so much, Kelci, for covering this, and thank you for chatting with us here on Reporter's Notebook. And thank you guys for watching another edition of Reporter's Notebook. As always, we'll see you next time.